Thanks a lot, Sarah, and hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for your question. It is true indeed that we have observed this evolution slowly but surely in Rwanda and almost everywhere in Africa. We have a society that is characterized by a patriarchal social structure, and relations between men and women are not fair. And this is not just the case for Rwanda. These inequalities haven't been perceived as unfair for a long time. It was just part of social norms. And some people even say that this is what God wants, because men and women are not the same, because God created man and the women come from men, and that is why women have to submit to men. So this inequality of treatment between men and women, girl and boy, also result in many sorts of violence against women and girls. And these inequalities, social and economic inequalities, can be observed in many countries, not just in African countries. These inequalities can be observed in many other countries, and at all levels, at individual level, but also at structural level. If we have a look at the World Bank report, there was a report issued quite recently. This shows that there is inequality, and this inequality can be represented and can be translated into different forms. Women are paid less, lower salary than men, even though they have the same job, they do the same work. Women normally are more numerous. We can find more women in types of jobs that are less paid. And so women are still exploited. Women do not really have a say in decision making. Very often, not even in their household, and they can't even decide how to use the money that they earn from their work. And this is one form of inequality. But some time ago, thanks to the lobbying at national and international level, so some time ago, we started observing a change, a progressive change, because countries are working to fight against these inequalities. For example, we can see some laws, programs, a budget that is allotted to fight against inequalities in order to work in favor of capacity building of women and to enable women to have a say. In Rwanda, just after the genocide in 1994 against Tutsi, with more than 1 million more millions of victims, many women are the boss, we could say, of their households. They have been victims of genocide, so they're widowers, they lost their husbands, or perhaps their husbands are in prison because they committed this genocide. So all these women became the leader of their households. And in Rwanda, a lot of work has been done to promote equal opportunities between men and women, but also to to support capacity building for women and to fight against this hostile context for women. In 1995, Rwanda ratified the Beijing Agreement that you know, I'm sure, that is about women's rights. This program was followed by other programs and decisions, such as the setup of a Ministry of Gender and Women Promotion. That is the name of this ministry, in order to promote equal opportunities between men and women. And they work to promote education for girls, and then a law to enable girls to get money and to become heirs, to inherit the resources of their families. And then there was also a law about the management of soil, 50% to 50%. In 2018, during the third General Assembly of United Nations, the president said that Rwanda decided to promote women's right, because it is very much linked to development. So gender has become absolutely key to national development, both in public sector, private sector, but also for civil society. At institutional level, most organizations of civil society had to review legal tools or statutes or the organization of staff, because they were asked to include the gender-related issues and to adapt to the new context in Rwanda. Such organizations implemented the gender policy, this is called the gender policy, to show in detail how the gender issues will have to be implemented at all levels of organizations. At the moment, in almost all the projects that we work on, if there is no justification of the way in which projects can benefit women, well, if there is this gender issue in policy, in projects, there are more chances to get funds. And that is the case at national and international level, because such organizations have started thinking about the role of women at all levels, including in rural areas. Of course, there are many, many needs, and there is still a long way to go. Now, I would like to think about examples. I would have to speak about many examples, but I would just speak about the role played by civil society to strengthen the role of women. For example, I'm going to share an example of women who have a little business, some business between Rwanda and neighborhood countries. There is an organization called Pro-Femme, member of our organization, with more than 10,000 women who sell their goods. They have their little business between Rwanda and Congo. They have created cooperatives, and they are also connected with a microfinance institution in order to have access to microcredits. So they have small businesses, they sell vegetables, fruit, or corn, and other products. So they are together, they work together in cooperatives, and so they can help each other. They learn leadership, but they can also benefit of some form of protection against abuse that they sometimes suffer when they cross borders. Today, they can be identified and recognized by authorities when they cross the borders. Just last year, these women received the trademark East Africa from the and about 6 million in our currency were allotted to support them. These cooperatives have already set up factories to produce products that are exported, and they even hired men. Women who would sell fruit now have factories for the production of juice. Those who would sell corn have set up factories for the processing of corn flour. And those who would sell peanuts, now they can even produce peanut butter. And what is even more striking is that all these little small enterprises have already received the trademark to export, the authorization to export their products abroad, and also to sell their products to big supermarkets in Rwanda. Over the next few years, I am going to visit them, to talk to them, to these women, to speak about the impact of all these actions. Thanks a lot.